If you ever wanted to understand what the danger monopolies and duopolies carry for a society or for a nation, then Indigo's recent flight disruption issue a few days back is a classic example of that. Now, the rules were intimated as early as January 2024, or at least they were drafted and intimated to airline, which then later was pushed to mid 2024 to later 24, and eventually were planned to apply from mid 2025. So even though there are very hard rules in terms of hiring and poaching pilots and co-pilots, Indigo has enough time, almost 2 years time, right? But they did not do that. Now, I'm not going to blame that it's a classic case of blackmail, even though it does look so, because it involves a lot of loss to airline also, and a big hit on their reputation. So that's unlikely, but they must be held accountable, and the government has to make sure that they does hold them accountable, because only when these companies or these big organizations are held accountable, then the common people can feel that they also need to follow rules. Otherwise, it's very hard to expect common people to follow certain rules in normal life when they see all these big companies, all these big organizations just finding ways to not follow them, and eventually blackmailing the system in a way. Also, Indigo had an option of reducing the flights upfront, hence managing this issue. By reducing the flight, they would have taken a hit on their profits, but they would have managed the situation, which also they didn't do. So this does look a lot of fault on their front, and that's what government should make sure, that they hold them accountable, and they should pay a price, because a normal person, when even they're a minute or two late, they end up paying the price for it, and the rule should be there for everyone. This is also a learning for the government and normal common people, that there should be at least 3, 4, 5 options in the market for any kind of service. Otherwise, when if in a one take a hit, we saw what the effect it does, right? Literally thousands of flights cancelled. Government has taken few of those rules back, even though they are temporary, but that does not look good. We can understand why that is done, because ultimately there is an issue and we needed an immediate fix, so they had to do that. But that does not look good, and that is not something that you want to do as a government, and the entity should be held accountable. That is the primary thing. Hopefully that does happen.